Hello everyone. I offer you this class to help us all remember in this troubled time the source inside that we connect with through our practice of yoga. I hope that it will give us all strength and stability as we go through the rigors of this virus pandemic that's so strongly affecting our culture, bringing so much fear to so many people. In this class, I use an image that I drew from the Rig Veda, and I'd like to describe that image for you. In the first mandala, or first book of the Rig Veda, hymn number 164, in verse 20, this image appears. In the preceding verses, verse 1 through 19, the whole universe is presented in the image of a chariot. The way a chariot might roll across a field, the whole universe moves. The days and nights, the movement of the sun and the moon are the rotation of the wheels of this chariot. After presenting the universe as a machine that flows and moves, in verse 20, these words appear. Two birds with fair wings, knit with bonds of friendship, in the same sheltering tree have found a refuge. One of the two birds eats the sweet fig tree's fruit, the other, eating not, watches only. So again, after the image of the universe as this big machine, we have a transposition of that image of machine into tree, a very complex big fig tree, and in that tree are two birds. One is excited, it's eating the fruit, it's looking around, it's, I imagine, interacting with other animals in the tree. And another bird, very much the same, doesn't do any of that. It only watches the first bird. Now this image was presented in the context of this poem, and that image later showed up in some of the Upanishads. By then, the Vedas are sacred, and as people studied the Vedas, they looked for mystical images and mystical truths that they could then elaborate and practice. So in some of the Upanishads, we have this image of the ego mind interacting with the senses, interacting out in the world, and then behind the mind, the Atman, watching, detached, observing. Later on, as Sankhya evolved, this image was drawn again to illustrate the Purusha, the bird watching, the ego mind, Buddhi and Ahankara interacting with the world. The Buddhi sits inside, the Purusha rather sits inside watching. As yoga evolved to become Tantra, this image again was used with the bird that eats the fruit being the Shakti, the goddess that creates and runs the universe, and the observing bird being the Shiva consciousness, the non-doing self in the background. I think that what's communicated or can be communicated in this image is something that, again, we all need in this time, a self inside so deep that it's not affected by the turbulence on the surface, the turbulence out in the world. May we remember that non-doing self that is deep inside of us. I encourage you to participate fully in this class. You will probably need a strap, a yoga tie. I don't believe you'll need any other props, but if there are props that you find useful in a normal yoga class, I recommend that you get them. You'll need tissues if you choose to do the pranayama, the Kapalabhati that I am leading. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. Bottom line, take care of yourself, and I thoroughly hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for receiving. Please guide yourself to an alert, upright, seated position. You can sit on a chair, or on a cushion or blanket on the floor. You could sit in a kneeling position or in a cross-legged position. In whichever position you have chosen, gently rock your pelvis from side to side a few times, and make sure that what is underneath you is providing you all of the support that you need. When that cushion has been adjusted and has been found to be stable and firm, let your pelvis become still. Take a breath. Feel your body weight pressing gently down into the cushion and the support of the cushion rising up to receive your body. Bring your hands to the crests of your hips and gently rock your pelvis a few cycles front to back. And as you rock, feel your lumbar spine. And locate that point in the rocking where the lumbar spine is most straight and most vertical, and become still there. Lengthen your waist, and lengthen equally all the way around, not just through the back. We want the spine to lengthen and not to arch. Hold your waist long, free your hands, and on a slow inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up, and back and down. Hold the shoulders back and down, chest open. And bring your hands palm up on your thighs. Lightly but firmly press the backs of your hands into your thighs. And feel your body. Let your attention distribute evenly throughout your whole body. Feel everything. As you turn your attention inside, feel yourself letting go of concerns outside. Concerns about what's happening around you, things that need to be done or need to be stopped, things that you have control over and things that you don't. And now as you sit in this alert, open position, begin to deepen your breath. Let each inhale be a little deeper than the one before. And each time that you exhale, squeeze empty. In this way, slowly grow the breath until it becomes Dirgha Pranayama. And as you breathe, feel that with each inhalation, you are stepping deeper inside. With each exhalation, you're letting go of the external world. When your breath reaches that level of depth that we call Dirgha Pranayama, begin to layer on the Ujjayi sound. And make that sound strong. Feel and hear the sound inside. And feel and hear the sound outside. As your body fills up with sound, let the room fill up with sound. Create an equal intensity of internal sound and external sound so that on the level of sound there is no difference between the interior of your body and the space around you. If this deep breathing and Ujjayi Pranayama creates any dizziness or nausea, slow it down. And when the sound has become steady, and when you start your next inhale, begin to inhale your arms out to the sides and up overhead. Touch fingertips together overhead. If you can, at the top of the inhale, as you exhale, sweep the arms out and down. Continue. Feel that with the inhale, you are welcoming and embracing all that is. With the exhale, you are releasing any rigidity, any determination, any concern that something needs to happen or needs to not happen. Continue the Dirgha breath, the Ujjayi sound. Continue to lift and lower your arms. And the next time that you raise your arms, as the arms rise, lift the sternum and the chin. Open the front of your body. And as you exhale and your arms descend, lower sternum and chin, let your back round. And add attention to the arching and flexing of the spine. So your attention is being spread out inside. You're feeling your body in the elongated open posture. You're feeling the breath flow in and out. You're feeling your arms rise and descend. You're hearing the sound. And you're adding sensations of stretch to the front of the body as the arms rise up, and to the back of the body as the arms descend. And the next time that you have inhaled and your arms are overhead, hold them there and hold the breath in. Focus on the fingertips reaching towards or pressing into the corresponding fingers of the opposite hand, and reach up. Reach up until there's a stretch that goes all the way down into the pelvis. Reach up as if you were an arrow flying up into the sky. And hold as the intensity builds. When the intensity, the hunger for breath has reached an appropriately strong level, let go. The arms simply find their own way down, flowing the way water flows down the side of a mountain. Let your hands rest palm up on your thighs and feel the effects. Feel where this breathing, this sound, and this movement have brought you. In the Rig Veda, there's an image. A big fig tree, giant. And right in the branches, the uppermost branches of this fig tree, are two birds. And one bird looks at the branches and the sky and the leaves and the fruit, and it sees things that it wants and that it fears. This bird reaches with its beak for a piece of fruit from the tree and begins to eat. And another bird, sitting on a branch close by, is still. It sees, it watches only the bird that is eating and looking around. Can you find the two parts of inner awareness? The part that does and fears and plans and anticipates, and the part that simply watches, that doesn't even see the external world, that only sees the self that is concerned, the self that wants and fears. Turn your hands palm down and clasp your knees. And with a firm grip on your knees, begin to steer your ribs into a circle. And as you feel the circle, press and pull on the knees with the arms to grow the circle bigger. Reach the ribs out as far as they will go, all the way around. The part of you does the action, receives feedback, and makes little adjustments. And another part simply watches. The decision maker, the mind, the planner. It simply observes. On your next revolution, find a turnaround spot and begin to circle the other way. There might be a little burst of excitement as the new sensations of this second direction arise. And within a short time, it fades. And this direction feels just like the other. Give yourself one more circle, maybe half the speed. And when you complete that last circle, come to stillness. Turn your hands palm upon the thighs, and from pelvis to crown, elongate and open your body. Prepare for Kapalabhati. If the amount that I lead is too much, you can do less by breathing more slowly. If you need to, you can end early or do Dirga and Ujjayi instead of Kapalabhati. Slowly inhale, fill up, pause, and begin Kapalabhati. Inhale deeply. Through your mouth, expel all of your breath. Squeeze, empty. Hold empty. Stretch up. Open the shoulders. Create a vacuum in your belly that pulls your attention to flow down into the abdomen. Feel the emptiness. Feel it fully. Any insecurities, any fear, any wanting, let it rise up. Observe it. Feel it, and when it's too much to contain, inhale sharply. Hold in. Press the tip of your tongue hard into your soft palate. Let your inner gaze roll to look up into the direction that the tongue is reaching. Let everything inside of you reach up into the inner sky. Hold until the hunger is at least a little bit strong. And then let go. Soften completely. Feel. The outermost self feels the relief, the release, the effects. The deeper self watches the outer self. Let your hands slide onto the floor, one behind each knee. Exhale. And with the next inhale, begin to sweep the right arm out to the right and up overhead as you lean to the left, coming all the way down onto the left forearm if that's appropriate. Exhale the right arm down, the torso floats to center, and inhale the left arm out and up. And continue flowing from side to side. Feel the flow of breath, flow of movement, flow of sensation. And look for ways to invite a deeper opening each time you go to a side. Perhaps on one cycle you can focus the opening down in the kidney region. And then on the next revolution, focus on the stretch in the armpit and the middle and upper ribs. Can you bring stretch up into the neck? As your arms rise, spread the fingers wide, open the palm. As the arms descend, let the palm relax. And then come to stillness. Again, from pelvis to crown, elongate and open. For another round of Kapalabhati. Inhale deeply and begin. Inhale deeply. Exhale strongly through your mouth, squeeze empty, hold out, stretch up, lengthen pelvis to crown. Create the vacuum in your belly that pulls your attention downward. If appropriate for you, you could practice Agni Sara right now, or the lower locks. Hold until the hunger is strong. If you can, if it's appropriate, an all-consuming hunger. Let all of your wants and worries flow into this one wanting. And when it's too much to be with, inhale your arms out to the sides and up overhead. Touch fingertips together, reach up, lift the gaze, the inner gaze towards the fingertips, lift the tongue. The rocket rises, shooting up into an inner sky, higher and higher, farther and farther, leaving externals behind. When it's too much to be with, let go. Let everything float down, release. Let the hands rest palm up on the thighs. Feel all that is there to be felt. Perhaps fears or tension that you've been holding, perhaps for many days. Allow a softness, an openness that lets all tensions and fears melt, flowing, drifting, left behind. Lean forward and set your cushion to the side, and then lean back into your hands and cross the feet the other way. With your feet crossed the other way, bring your hands to the floor in front of you or the mat in front of you, and slide your hands out into a passive forward fold. Now, if this would feel good, you can crawl your fingertips a little bit forward and let your hips rise up into a puppy stretch. So you get to decide. In the puppy stretch, there's arching in the spine and stretch in the belly. With the buttocks on the floor or on the heels, there's simply flexion, stretch in the spine, and the belly is soft. As you sit in this posture, take deep breaths and explore. Where can you let go? Where can you release into deeper stretch? Where can you let go of something that you might be holding? Take 3 more breaths here. And then if the hips are lifted, release them down to the heels or to the cushion, to the floor. And slowly walk your hands back to your body. Lift your torso up to a seated position. Sit up straight and tall, hands palm up on the thighs. Take 3 deep breaths again. Feel openness. Imagine a big oak tree with lots of little leaves. And a breeze wafts through that tree, wrapping around the branches, embracing every leaf, flowing where there is space, not pushing against structures. Prepare again for Kapalabhati. Elongate pelvis to crown, open chest and shoulders. Inhale deeply and begin. Inhale deeply. Exhale strongly, fully, squeeze empty, elongate. Bring your hands palm down on your thighs. Press the palms into the thighs to lift the ribs to create more emptiness in the belly. Feel that emptiness. Add the root lock if that's appropriate. Agni Sara, Nauli. Be with. Let the intensity grow. Welcome the intensity. Fill up with intensity. When it's too much to contain, inhale the arms out and up. Touch fingertips together if you can. Lift the tongue, the inner gaze. Reach up. Now let hunger build. If you are familiar with Brahmari pranayama and it's appropriate for you to practice, when the hunger reaches the intensity of Brahmari, let it become the Brahmari sound as your arms descend. Again, sit in openness, freedom. The outer mind feels the body, the energy, the present moment. Perhaps it doesn't even reach out beyond the boundaries of the body to the world outside. And the inner mind watches the thinking, feeling mind. Lean back into your hands, lift your knees, and stand your feet as wide as you can off the side edges of your mat. Begin to roll your knees from side to side. Let the movement be fluid and free. Coordinate it with the breath. As your knees roll to each side, let your pelvis twist in the direction of your knees. And as you take your knees from side to side, let the trailing arm begin to swing around, throw it up into the air. And as you go to each side, begin to press the leading knee down and elevate your hips a little bit. We're going to grow this movement slowly to become Ardha Mandalasana. As the hips lift higher, press the trailing leg foot into the mat to get the support to lift even higher. As you rise up, roll pelvis and chest towards the sky, roll them into a gradually more open position. And the next time that your right arm is in the air, stay there. Find your left hip and pull it up until it's directly on top, or as close as you can get, of the left knee. Straighten the right leg, push the foot firmly into the mat, and then reach away through the right fingers. Lengthen the whole right side of your body. Draw shoulder blades together and down your back to support, to increase the opening of the chest. Keep the back of the neck long, both the throat and the back of the neck open. And now breathe. Breathe to fill the front of your body with breath, all the way down to the pubic bone and all the way up to the collarbones. Create expansion. Take another slow breath, and as you exhale, ease all the way down to a seated position. Completely let go. Sit in stillness and feel like a pebble dropped into still water. Sinking. Feel your attention dropping down inside, leaving all of the externals behind. Coming into an inner world that's always still, even as the depth of the ocean is still, even when there are intense waves on the surface. And now repeating on the other side, bring your hands to the mat behind you, lift your knees, stand your feet wide off the side edges of your mat, and begin to roll the knees. To massage the buttocks, to twist the back. As the movement becomes fluid and easy, add the trailing arm, swing it across your body, throw it up into the sky. As if the body were following the momentum of the hand, begin to press the leading knee down. Let the hips lift as the arm reaches up and away. As you lift higher and higher, begin to straighten the trailing leg. Push that foot into the mat to stabilize and protect the knee and to lift the hips higher. And the next time that your left arm is in the air, stay there. Find the right hip and pull the right hip joint directly over the right knee. Press the little toe side of the left foot into the mat and reach through the fingertips. Create one unbroken stretch from the little toe side of the foot to the fingertips. Hold yourself open, roll pelvis and chest towards the sky. Lengthen the back of the neck. And take slow, full breaths. Fill up with breath. Stretch the body with breath. And on a slow exhale, release down. Come to your seated position. Again, drop inside. Let all of the externals go. And feel. Feel what you are. Disconnected from the distortions imposed on the self by the external world. Extend both legs out in front of you, big toes touching. And leaning back a little bit, place your hands behind you, fingertips either pointing away from you behind, out to the side, or easiest on the shoulders, but less stretch in the upper body, fingertips can point towards the feet. Straighten the arms, but hold the elbows ever so slightly unlocked. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, press the soles of the feet down into the mat. Lift the hips for inclined plane. Keep the big toes touching so that the legs don't roll open. Press the feet down, hold the knees ever so slightly unlocked, elbows unlocked, and lift. Head can stay lifted fully, partially lifted, or released back, whichever feels best in your body. Take 3 breaths with each inhale. As the belly rises, lift the hips. As you exhale, keep the belly lifted. Lift the hips up to the belly. And on your last exhale, slowly lower the hips and roll all the way down onto your back. Let it all go. There is nothing that cannot fall away as you drift from the outer mind to the inner mind. On an inhale, sweep your arms out to T position, palms facing down. With the legs extended and straight, bring the ankles together. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bend your right knee and point the knee to the ceiling. Let the foot hang in space. With the knee pointing to the ceiling, begin to make a circle with it. So the knee makes a little circle in the space over the hip. Now once you've established the circle, bring your attention down into the hip joint. Feel the movement, the stretch, the sensation, the work, and grow the circles bigger. Reach out ever wider all the way around. As the circles grow bigger, the pelvis will begin to rock. Let that happen. As the circles grow even bigger, the spine will begin to twist. Let that happen, but as best as you can, keep the shoulders anchored. Feel the squeeze, the movement, the stretch in the belly, all the sensations created there. And the next time the right knee is over on the left side, hold it there. Take your left hand, if that would feel appropriate, and press down or stabilize the right knee. Keep the right shoulder anchored to the mat. In, knee down twist. Breathe to stretch your belly, both on the exhale and on the inhale. The head can stay in neutral position, or you can let your head twist to the right to bring the twisting stretch through the whole spine. Take one more breath in and out. And on your next inhale, lift the right knee up to center. Reach with both hands, clasp the right knee, squeeze the right thigh into the belly, knee into the chest. Squeeze firmly, but keep the shoulders against the mat so that there's stability and maximum strength in the upper body. Breathe to press belly into thigh on the inhales. As you exhale, pull the thigh, let it follow the belly as it moves inward. Take one more breath in and out. And then release the right leg to rest by the left. And feel what flows from the right side to the left, from the left to the right. And dropping beneath that, can you find a place deep inside where there is no right, and no left. Arms extended, T position. Legs extended, ankles together. On an exhale, bend the left knee. Bring the knee to the ceiling. Let the foot hang in space. And begin to make little circles in the air with the knee. Once the circles are established, come down with your attention into your hip joint and feel them. And then watch what flows through the hip joint as the circles grow larger, as they reach out all the way around, growing wider and wider. The buttocks rock, the spine twists. And the next time that the left knee is over on the right side, hold it there. Use the right hand if that would be appropriate. Place it on the knee to stabilize, or for a stronger stretch, gently press the knee down. Keep the left shoulder anchored. And now breathe to stretch your belly. Stretch it empty, stretch it full. And on an inhale now, lift the knee up to center. Exhale, release the left leg to rest by the right. Watch as all the sensations and relationships fade away. Affirm, there is nothing that cannot be left behind when you drop into your center. Now, keeping your intention inside as best as you can, reach for your thigh. Hold it in both hands. Bend the right knee and lasso the right foot. Holding both ends of the thigh in the hand, straighten the leg with the heel reaching up towards the ceiling. And then with the hands, gently pull the foot closer to being over the head for hamstring stretch. Breathe. Generate strong sensations with the pulling. And then with the breath, create ease. Soothe the stretched muscles and invite them to stretch more. Now, reach with your right hand, hold both ends of the thigh as close to the foot as you can. Extend your left arm out to T position. And on an exhale, pull the right leg out to the right. All the way down if you can. And if it doesn't go all the way down, that's okay. It can hang in space. If that feels a little bit uncomfortable, you could put a block or a cushion under the right thigh. That left buttock wants to lift. Gently pull it down. Take 5 breaths. Now as you're breathing, hold the strap in your hand. You could hold with the arm bent, or more easeful, hold with the arm straight and the hand on the thigh closer to the foot. Take a slow breath, pulling the leg back up to center, and then switch hands on the thigh. Reach up with the left hand, catch both ends of the thigh as close to the foot as you can, and then with holding the thigh with the left hand, pull it across the body, down to the floor on the left side. Again, you could hold the strap with the arm bent or with the arm straight. Keep the right shoulder blade anchored to the mat, and for more stretch, pull on the foot, pull it up towards the head. Take deep abdominal breaths. Let your body fill up with sensations. Sensations that you don't have to fight or cling to. And on a slow inhale now, lift the right leg to center. Bending the knee, release it from the thigh, and let the right leg extend to rest by the left. Again, all of the sensations fade away. The doing self disappears, and the observing self emerges. Bend the left knee. Place the thigh over the sole of the foot, holding onto the end. Straighten the heel towards the ceiling. Straightening the leg, press the heel away, pull the toes back towards your body. Create an appropriate stretch, an appropriate level of intensity. And breathe to accept it, to release any charge around it, to honor it for what it is. A transitional experience where the relationship with your body is revealed. What we fear, what we want, how we move, and how we don't. Take the left hand and reach up on both ends of the thigh. Catch the thigh, the strap as close to the foot as you can. Let your right arm sweep out to the side, palm down. On an exhale, pull the left leg out to the left. Let the foot come down towards the floor, towards the mat. Keep the right buttock against the mat as best as you can. Ease into the stretch. Explore it with your mind. Explore it with micro movements and breath. If the low back arches, gently pull the lumbar spine down, engaging abdominal muscles for a little extra stability and support. On an inhale, power the left leg back up to center, and then reaching with your right hand, catch both ends of the thigh as close to the foot as you can. Left arm extends out along the mat, palm down for stability. On an exhale, pull the left foot across your body to the right. Let the pelvis twist all the way down. Head can stay in neutral position or can extend the twisting of the spine all the way up to the skull. Stretch the belly on the exhale, stretching empty. Stretch it on the inhale, stretching full. And on an inhale now, power the leg back up to center. Bend both knees and slowly release the left leg from the thigh. Rest in stillness. Let everything go. Bend both knees and bring your feet to stand, heels right up by your buttocks. This is for bridge pose. Bring your arms down by your side, fingertips line up right behind and outside of the toes. Bring your hands to clasp the crest of your hips, and as you breathe, gently rock your pelvis front to back. Do this a few cycles and feel it. Bring ease into the muscles, release any tensions. Now release your hands to the mat, and on your next inhale, press down into your feet and lift your hips as high as you can. On the exhale, ease the hips right back down and continue. With every inhale, lift the hips. With the exhales, ease them right back down. The knees may want to splay open as the pelvis rises. Hold the knees aligned with each other so they stay the same distance apart. See if every time you lift the hips, you can lift them just a little bit higher. Now the next time that you have lifted the hips, keep them there. If you can take it farther, reach underneath with your hands and either clasp your ankles or interlace your fingers, walk your shoulders underneath. Press your shoulders down and pull your sternum towards your chin. Breathe to relax the back of your neck. Breathe to stretch your belly. On a slow exhale, release the hands, let the pelvis descend, and when the sacrum lands, let the soles come together, the knees open out to the sides. Again, drop all doing. Drop into that self. It's underneath all disturbance, all doing. Now bring your attention down to your right knee, and slowly, on a wave of inhale, lift the right knee to center. As you exhale, lower the right knee to touch the left knee. And with both knees touching, take them from side to side. Move with breath. This can be gentle and easy with the feet on the mat, or for a little more abdominal engagement, lift the feet off. As the knees roll to each side, consider letting the head roll the other way. If it would feel good, you can pause on one side and hang out in that twist for 2 or 3 breaths. And then do the same on the other side. And the next time that the knees are to one side, leave them there. Roll your torso toward your knees and lift yourself all the way up to table position on your mat. As you reach table position, check in with your knees and consider, do they need some padding? Bring your palms right under your shoulders. Fingertips facing forward. Begin simple cat and dog stretches. Inhaling, arch the back. Exhale, round. Feel your body moving around the breath. Feel your body supported by hands and knees, feet, toes on the floor beneath you. Slowly evolve it into a circle. Reach the ribs out and around. Grow the circle as big as you can. Circle the other way. Now release back to center, basic table position, and make any adjustments that you need for downward facing dog. All the fingers face forward, palms directly under the shoulders are a little bit wider. Curl your toes under. And slowly on an inhale, lift the hips up and back to a bent-kneed downward dog. And allow any movements here that would support you easing more gently into the downward dog stretches that are appearing here and that will grow as you move deeper into the posture. Bring equal weight all around the ridge of your palms. Open your shoulders, draw the shoulder blades down your back and wrap them wide around your ribs. Strongly reach the top of your head towards your thumbs to lengthen your neck. And then lengthening the waist, lengthen any rounding or sway out of the back. Hold the whole spine long and begin to straighten the legs. You can do this all at once, but slowly easing in, or you can do a walking in place motion that gradually grows, stretching the legs. When you've reached your fullest expression of downward dog, feel it, breathe. Can you allow every sensation to be? Nothing suppressed, nothing pushed away, nothing simply endured. On an exhale, bend your right knee and step your right foot 2/3 the distance to your hands. This is for pyramid pose. Once the foot is in place, fine-tune your posture. Step the back foot forward or back farther as needed. For our pyramid pose, we want the back foot pointing straight ahead, not out to the side. Both heels on the mat, and as much as you can, both knees straight. Ease into your pyramid pose. And as your lower body becomes stable and strong, open to the stretch, let your upper body relax. Let it hang as passively as you can. Relax the eyes and the neck, the jaw, the throat. shoulders, arms. Let the arms only be engaged as needed to provide balance through the hands. Relax the belly. Take your left palm and place it on the mat directly under your shoulder. And on a slow inhale, sweep your right arm out to the right and up overhead. Rotated trikonasana. Now that back heel might want to lift as best as you can. Keep it pressed down. If there's sensitivity in the SI joint, don't let the twist go down into the pelvis. Limit it to the low back. But if the SI joint feels comfortable and okay in this posture, you can allow the twist to go all the way down to become an IT band stretch on the outside of the right leg. Deep breath. Head can be in neutral position, or for a twist with the easiest balance, look down towards the thumb that's on the ground. For a stretch that might increase the challenge of balance, focus the inner gaze on the right thumb up in the air. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, sweep the arm down, place the right palm on the mat, step back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Bring equal weight all around the ridge of the palms, open the shoulders, lengthen neck and waist, and then continue the ritual of straightening the legs, of reaching into all of the hamstring and glute stretch that is available. On an exhale, step your left foot forward, 2/3 the distance to your hands for pyramid pose. And then fine-tune your posture. The feet need to be close enough that the back foot can point straight ahead, both heels can be on the mat, and both knees straight. If you can't meet all three criteria, step the back foot a little more forward. And once the legs are steady and strong, relax the upper body. There are probably strong sensations here, sensations that you cannot make go away. Can you allow them to be? Can you open to this reality that is manifesting on the surface? And as you are with this intense reality on the surface, can you also feel that deep self inside does not react? Place the right palm directly under the right shoulder. On an inhale, sweep the left arm out to the left and up overhead into rotated trikonasana. See if you can bring the right shoulder under a little more and the left shoulder back a little more so that both shoulders are directly one on top of the other. Lengthen the neck and then allow whatever twisting is appropriate to happen there. Keep the back heel anchored to the mat for the greatest balance. Take another breath. As you exhale, sweep the left arm down, bend the front knee, and step back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Bring equal weight all around the ridge of the palms, open the shoulders, lengthen neck and waist, straighten the legs. On an exhale, step your right foot in between your hands, lunge position. And then look at both feet. Make sure that they are still hip width apart. Back heel points straight up, press back. Back knee is straight. You'll be up on the ball of the foot. Bend the front knee until the knee is directly over the ankle. Sink as low into your lunge as you can without the back knee bending. Now you can hang out here in this lunge, or if you'd like to make this a warrior pose, walk or jump your hands up to your hips. With your hands on your hips, posteriorly rotate the pelvis. Pull the tailbone down, lift the pubic bone. Let the pelvis rotate as much as you can. Lengthen the waist by lifting the ribs. Exhale. On a slow inhale, sweep the arms down and out and up. Frame the ears with a big V. If appropriate, reach up and back through the fingertips and through the crown. Project the sternum forward and up, tailbone back and down, lengthen the waist. Take deep breaths, lengthen the neck. On a slow exhale, sweep the arms forward and down to the mat. If that's too strenuous, the arms can go out to the sides and down. With your hands on the floor, step the right foot back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Bring equal weight all around the ridge of the palms. Open the shoulders, lengthen neck and waist. Begin to straighten the legs. On an exhale, step the left foot forward for lunge position. Back heel points straight up, pressed back. Back knee bent. Bend the front knee until the knee is right over the ankle. Sink down into your lunge. Adjust the space between the feet as needed. If the back foot is farther back, it creates a more challenging posture. If the back foot is more forward, the posture becomes easier. But make sure that there's width to the posture, that one foot is not directly behind the other. Then balance will be compromised. If appropriate, climb or jump your hands up to your hips. Keep the front knee right over the ankle. Hips squared to the front. On an inhale, lift the pubic bone, pull the tailbone down. Exhale, and on the next inhale, lengthen the waist. Exhale, release hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms wide to the sides. Let the shoulders roll open. Fingers and crown reach up and back. Project sternum forward. Can you lengthen your waist a little bit more? Can you bring a little more openness to the throat? Breathe all the way down to the pubic bone, all the way up to the collarbones. Breathe to project the sternum forward. And on an exhale, sweep the arms forward and down or out to the sides and down, hands to the floor. Step back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Now prepare for side plank. Press into your right hand and roll up to your side plank as your pelvis comes a little bit forward. To modify, come down onto your knees into table position and then rise up into side plank with one knee still on the mat. If there are wrist issues, come down to table and then come down onto your forearm. From there, rise up into your side plank. Keep the low shoulder open, the lower elbow unlocked. One hip stacked directly over the other, one shoulder over the other. And if there are any variations that would be appropriate for you to practice, you are welcome to do so. A simple variation is to sweep the top arm over your head behind the ear and reach through the fingertips until the hips rise a little bit more. Another variation is to raise the top foot for starfish pose. So play, explore your posture. And on an exhale, roll forward, right hand to the mat. Slowly lift back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. And then pressing into your left hand, rise up into your side plank on the other side. Modify as needed. You can come down onto the forearm or lower one knee. Keep both shoulders open. Don't let that lower shoulder squeeze up into the body. Keep the standing elbow unlocked if you are up, resting on the palm. And once you're stable in your posture, if a variation would be appropriate, go for it. Play. And now roll forward. Take your hips up and back to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Bring equal weight all around the ridge of the palms. Open the shoulders, lengthen the neck and the waist, straighten the legs. And for 5 breaths, simply be with the strong experience of downward facing dog. And when you have completed those breaths, begin to bend the knees and slowly with control, slow and steady, lower the knees to the mat. Uncurl the toes, release all the way back to child pose. Let the hands go wherever they go. Let them rest palm up in an open gesture. Feel. Let all of the surface fade away. The depths open. Use your hands and arms, not your back, to do the work. Slowly lift yourself up to sit on your heels in a kneeling position. Take your left elbow and either sit it on the outside of your right knee or between the knees. Make a little tabletop with your left palm and place your right palm on top of your left, prayer position. Find your thumbs, feel your sternum, and begin to pull thumbs and sternum together, guiding your body into a twist. Keep the neck long, waist long, and even though there's a lot of compression in the belly, take deep breaths, massage the belly with the breath. If appropriate, you can bring the twist into the neck by looking up with closed eyes towards the ceiling. Keep the neck lengthening as it twists. And on your next exhale, release the work, let your body float back to center, and let the hands help your body to rise up to a vertical position. Let the hands rest palm up on the thighs. Feel all of the sensations. And as you feel all of the sensations, watch them fading into the distance as you drop into the inner self. Take your right elbow and place it either outside of your left knee or between. Make a tabletop with the right hand. Place the left hand on top. Pull sternum and thumbs together. Breathe. Let the neck relax or twist as appropriate. And bring the breath to be as deep as it's appropriate for it to be. On an exhale, release. Use the hands to help the body rise up. Pause for a breath, receiving and letting go. Integrating the doing self, the observing self. And then reaching for your cushion. Guide yourself into a position for pranayama. Sit cross-legged or kneeling. If you need to use a chair, that's perfectly okay. Rock your pelvis from side to side a little bit. Settle into your cushion. And when your seat is balanced and stable, bring your hands to the crests of your hips and rock your pelvis a few cycles front to back. Find that point in the arcing where the lumbar spine is most vertical and straight, and become still there. Lengthen the waist, roll the shoulders forward and up, back and down. Hold the shoulders open and bring your hands palm up on your thighs. Drop into the non-doing self, the self that watches. And feel the hollows of your palms, the space between the fingertips, the hollows of the palms. Can you feel that same emptiness and openness in the belly, in the chest, in the crown of the head? The Hatha Pradipika says the yogi in meditation is like an empty pot. Space inside, space outside. No difference between the inside and the out. Now begin to deepen your breath. Let each inhale be a little deeper than the one before, until you are practicing Dirgha Pranayama, inhaling to complete fullness and exhaling to complete emptiness. When you reach the level of Dirgha Pranayama, add the Ujjayi sound. And again, make that sound strong inside and outside. And as you practice the Dirgha Pranayama, the Ujjayi Pranayama, slowly let one hand drift to your nostrils. And the next time that you start to exhale, block the right nostril and let all of the breath flow out through the left. Squeeze empty, and then slowly inhale through the left until you are completely full. And then exhale to the other side. Squeeze empty, and then slowly inhale through that nostril to complete fullness, and exhale to the other side. Continue with Nadi shodhana pranayama. This is Dirgha Pranayama through alternating nostrils. So you inhale until you're stretched full, and exhale until you're squeezed empty. If at any point your arm becomes tired, switch hands. Switch as often as you need. If your posture becomes uncomfortable, simply release the pranayama, adjust the posture, and come right back to it again. Now the next time that you have inhaled, hold in. And hold just until there is a little feeling of hunger in your body. And then release. Exhale slowly through one nostril. And when you have exhaled, hold empty. Again, just until there's a little bit of hunger. And then slowly inhale until you are full. Hold in until there is a little bit of hunger. And then hold to the other, or exhale to the other side. And continue. So this is Anulom Vilom with both internal and external kumbhak, breath retention. Let your first few rounds with the retention be about easing into the technique, letting your body and mind relax around it. Now slowly grow the holding in and the holding out. If appropriate for you, and this will not be appropriate for everyone, this is an energizing technique, and if we generate more energy than we can allow to flow through us, it will become anxiety. So only if it is appropriate, or to the extent that it is appropriate, hold until the hunger is a little strong, until there is a little disturbance. And watch how, as you hold the breath in, you're pulled into the doing self. The doing self has plans. It wants to end this. It wants to do something to change the experience. Watch the doing self become strong in response to the hunger, and then, as you exhale, release. And with the subsiding of the intensity, find yourself dropping into the non-doing self for a few moments. And then on the other holding, the intensity comes. Allow the mind to be pulled into the active mode. And then release, and the mind drops back into the non-doing self. And this is a training for being in the world. Intensity will come, intensity of feeling, fear, anger, wanting. And that's okay. But if we could When the intensity passes, let it go and fully drop into the non-doing self. Replenish. We would recharge. We would recover balance. We would become resilient and strong. So let this be a practice for daily life. As the hunger for breath becomes strong, notice how it's similar to frustration, to anger, to fear, to wanting. And notice how quickly it arises and how thoroughly it fades away. Observe yourself letting it go. And with your next exhale through either nostril, release the practice. Let the breath flow freely. Let the hands return to the lap. And simply feel yourself as the center of the universe. Everything revolves around you. And just as a hurricane has a still eye, but on the surface intensely strong winds, feel how around you there is so much intensity, pleasure, the company of others, the competition, wanting, fear. Feel how you can reach out to the surface, to the periphery, to enjoy, to do work, and how you can always release the periphery and drop back into the center, back into yourself. And now please guide yourself to a lying position for relaxation. If it would serve you better to continue meditating, you are more than welcome to do so. I will lead a relaxation. Lie with your legs extended, arms by your sides. Take 5 Dirgha breaths, slow and long. With each exhale, feel that you are letting go a magnitude deeper into your relaxation. Become aware of your breath. Feel it moving through your body. Feel it gentle in your belly. Feel the breath so close to the surface. Feel yourself so deep inside that the breath feels like it's miles above, close to the surface. And begin to deepen the breath. As the breath deepens, feel yourself pulled gently, rising up to the surface, expanding out into the extremities. Take a deep breath, hold it in briefly, and exhale a sigh. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Roll your head slowly from side to side. Take your time coming back. By doing so, you honor the depth and draw more benefit from those depths. Bend one knee, hug it into chest and belly, squeeze and rock a little bit from side to side. And then switch legs. Hug the left knee in, left thigh in, squeeze, rock. And as you release the left leg, roll to one side. Slowly lift yourself back up to a seated position. And for just a few more moments, savor the introversion, the inner experience. Affirm there is a quiet space within you. It is the abode of your deeper self. And around you is an amazing world full of so much experience, some of which is pleasant, some of which is not, but a world of experience through which we learn and we grow. Affirm you have the strength, the power to do everything that you need to do in the external world, to be with whatever arises, always remembering that you can drop, even with one breath, you can drop the externals and go to that quiet place deep inside where no disturbance can reach. Take a deep breath, and if it's appropriate for you in your setting, please join me in the sound of Om. Jai Bhagwan.